Have you ever heard a voice so strange, so eerily distorted, that it makes your skin crawl? Because that's exactly what happened when a chilling 911 call surfaced. A call that could change everything about the case surrounding viral singer D4vd A, young girl, found lifeless in a car registered to him. A mysterious caller, whose voice doesn't even sound human. And a family suddenly thrown into chaos by what could be a dangerous setup. Tonight, we're diving deep into the mystery that's left the internet speechless. Was D4vd framed? Or is there something far darker hiding beneath the surface? Let's get into it. It all began in Los Angeles. A quiet street, an abandoned Tesla, and a strange smell that caught the attention of authorities. Inside that car was the decomposing body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The car? Registered to none other than 20-year-old singer D4vd, best known for his viral hits and mysterious emotional lyrics that often speak of loss, guilt, and loneliness. Immediately, fans were stunned. How could this happen? Why was Celeste in his car? And where was D4vd during all of this? Reports claimed the Tesla had been parked for weeks before being towed to a Hollywood impound yard. When police finally opened it, they found her remains in the trunk. That moment changed everything. Within hours, social media exploded. Fans started posting cryptic messages. There's no way he did this. Something's off. This feels staged. Why does this sound like a setup? And as the news spread, one hashtag began trending worldwide, "Justice for Celeste," followed by another, equally powerful one, "Protect D4vd." Two sides formed almost instantly, one demanding accountability, and the other convinced the singer was being targeted. The internet detectives went to work, analyzing timestamps, screenshots, and even music lyrics, searching for hidden clues in his past interviews and songs. But then, something even stranger happened. Just days after Celeste's body was identified, police arrived at D4vd's parents' home in Texas with their guns drawn. The reason? A 911 call reporting gunshots and a scream. When officers arrived, D4vd's parents were terrified. They had no idea what was going on. They didn't call 911. There were no gunshots. No screams, nothing. It was a false alarm. Or worse, a deliberate attack. That's when the idea of swatting entered the picture. A terrifying prank where someone makes a fake emergency call to send armed officers to a person's home. But this didn't feel like a prank. This felt like something much bigger. Soon after, TMZ released the actual audio of that 911 call. A robotic, cold voice says, "I heard gunshots. I think someone's dead." The dispatcher asks questions, but the caller hesitates, their voice distorted, almost as if run through a digital filter. A voice changer, and that one detail set the internet ablaze again. Who made this call? Why use a voice changer? And was it connected to Celeste's death? Forensic expert Jennifer Owen, a professional with decades of experience, analyzed the call and confirmed what everyone feared. Someone was masking their voice on purpose. According to Owen, it's the robotic inflection, the irregular vibrations. This wasn't just a bad connection. Someone was hiding their real voice. But that begged the question. Why? As the audio spread, online theories exploded. Some said it was a troll seeking attention. Others believed it was the same person involved in Celeste's death, deliberately trying to intimidate or frame D4vd's family. One Reddit post claimed, "This isn't random. Whoever did this wants him to look guilty. First the car, now the swatting. Someone's trying to destroy this man." And as more pieces started connecting, it became harder to dismiss the pattern. First, a body appears in his car. Then, police are sent to his parents' home on a false report. Both within days. Both filled with confusion. Both involving potential digital manipulation. Coincidence? Or coordination? Bodycam footage from that night paints a haunting scene. Officers approach the Texas home cautiously, weapons drawn. They call out for anyone inside. When D4vd's parents open the door, you can see the fear in their eyes. They're shaking, confused, completely unaware of why police are even there. One officer says, "We got a call saying someone was dead here." And the parents respond, "What? No, that's not true. Who would do that?" Minutes later, one of the officers checks the 911 log. The call came from an out-of-state number, meaning whoever did this wasn't even nearby. "It pinged here," one officer says. Wherever they called from, it sent this address to dispatch. The mother whispers, almost trembling, "Is someone on our property?" At that moment, the fear becomes real. Because if someone could fake a 911 call, could they also be watching? As the investigation deepened, retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt weighed in, saying the swatting wasn't random. "There are bad actors who know how to bring harm by swatting," he explained. "They find your address online, make up a story, and send police straight to your door." But the timing of this, right after the discovery of Celeste's body, is very suspicious. Schmidt suggested that whoever orchestrated this might be trying to provoke chaos, knowing that every police interaction would add fuel to the public's doubts. And it worked. Because while law enforcement was still piecing together what happened to Celeste, social media had already made up its mind. Half the internet believed D4vd was innocent. The other half believed he was hiding something. Then came another twist. Investigators quietly began looking into digital footprints, phone pings, message logs, and voice data. But the 911 call's metadata had been erased, meaning its original source couldn't easily be traced. However, a few anonymous online users claimed they'd found unreleased screenshots showing someone trying to sell exclusive details about the case to tabloids. Whoever was behind this wasn't just hiding, they were profiting. A supposed insider told an entertainment blog, "Someone's targeting him from the inside. They want to see him fall, and they're using the media to make it happen." Could this someone be a former associate, a jealous rival, or someone connected to Celeste herself? No one knew for sure. But every day, new fragments of information kept emerging, screenshots, posts, anonymous DMs, all painting the same eerie picture. D4vd is being hunted digitally. Fans began dissecting D4vd's social media like never before. They noticed that right after the swatting incident, he went completely silent online. No posts, no tweets. No stories. Then, weeks later, he reappeared, posting a black square with the caption, "Silence doesn't mean guilt. Sometimes it's survival." The internet lost it. Some saw it as a declaration of innocence. Others saw it as a cryptic warning, maybe even directed toward whoever was behind the fake call. A few eagle-eyed followers even claimed the image contained hidden Morse code spelling, "Trust no one." Was that real? Or was it just the internet reaching again? No one could say for sure. But one thing was clear. D4vd wasn't just facing accusations, he was facing a campaign. In a twist that felt straight out of a movie, an anonymous source reportedly close to the investigation leaked details suggesting law enforcement was considering a digital harassment angle. The insider claimed, "There's evidence someone may have accessed his family's address through a private database." This wasn't random. It was targeted. That one statement reignited every conspiracy theory online. Because if that's true, if someone really had access to private data, then this wasn't a prank. It was a calculated attack. And suddenly, the swatting wasn't the most dangerous part, because whoever was behind it might also have been behind the placement of Celeste's body in his car. Behind the headlines, though, there's something more human. D4vd's parents were terrified. Their home had become the center of a national story. Their son's name, once celebrated for his hauntingly beautiful music, was now linked to death, deception, and danger. According to those close to the family, D4vd hasn't been the same since. He's reportedly stopped leaving his home, limited all public appearances, and started seeking therapy for anxiety and fear of being followed. In one emotional statement, a family friend told reporters, "He's not just scared of the internet, he's scared of being alive right now." It's a tragic reflection of how fame can turn into fear overnight. Meanwhile, Celeste's family continues to demand answers. They've asked for privacy, but have also expressed frustration at how the case has become an online spectacle. They want justice, not hashtags. Still, the mystery remains. How did Celeste end up in that car? Was she placed there after her death? And if so, by who and why? Some speculate she might have known people from D4vd's circle. Maybe not him directly, but someone connected to his management or production team. It's all speculation. But speculation is what's driving this story forward. And as experts dig deeper, one terrifying possibility emerges: that AI technology could have been used to distort voices, create fake calls, and erase digital trails. In today's world, a voice changer app or AI filter can be downloaded in seconds. It can make anyone sound male, female, robotic, even like someone else entirely. As forensic analyst Jennifer Owen put it, "We live in a time when it's easier to fake a voice than it is to prove your own innocence." Let that sink in. Because if someone can fake a 911 call, what else can they fake? Messages, emails, GPS data? Maybe the question isn't who called 911. Maybe the real question is, How much of this entire story was manipulated from the start? Much of this entire story was manipulated from the start. A new theory has recently begun circulating among investigators and fans alike, and it could change everything. Some believe the swatting wasn't meant to frame D4vd at all, but to test law enforcement's response time. What if the person behind all this wanted to see how quickly police would arrive at his home, in preparation for something even bigger? Others suggest the caller might be the same person who left Celeste's body in the car, trying to send a message that they were in control, that they could strike again. And the scariest theory of all? That this isn't about D4vd or Celeste alone. It's about power, control, and fear, using digital chaos to ruin lives in plain sight. Weeks after the chaos, reports surfaced that a second suspicious call had been made, this time to a number linked to one of D4vd's producers. It was brief, garbled, and ended with just 3 words before hanging up. "You're next, David." Authorities are still investigating whether it was real, but the voice sounded eerily similar to the same distorted tone from the original 911 call. Coincidence? Or confirmation that the stalker, or framer, is still out there? Ending, reflection, and call to action. So where does this leave us? A young girl's life tragically lost, a rising artist living in fear, and a digital trail so twisted it feels almost cinematic. Maybe this isn't just a story about fame, or tragedy, or scandal. Maybe it's a story about how easily truth can be rewritten in the age of technology. Because if voices can be faked, if calls can be forged, if entire realities can be built online, then what does innocence even mean anymore? Was D4vd framed? Or is there a truth out there we still haven't uncovered? Let's hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Do you believe he's innocent? Or do you think there's more to this story than meets the eye? Because one thing's for sure, this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. Music fades out. Screen slowly turns black with dramatic tone. The words, "You're next, David," echoed across the internet like a curse. It wasn't just a threat. It was a message. The fact that the voice used his real name, David, not D4vd, sent chills through fans. It meant whoever made that call knew him personally. Law enforcement immediately began investigating, tracing every second of that audio clip. But once again, the trail went cold. The number was unregistered. The signal bounced through multiple VPNs, rerouted across international servers. It was sophisticated, almost as if done by someone with deep technical knowledge. A former cybersecurity analyst even said, "This isn't something a random troll could pull off. This takes planning and motive." Days later, entertainment blogs and gossip outlets started releasing exclusive stories. They weren't official police statements. They weren't even fact-checked. They were clickbait headlines, twisting the story to make D4vd look guilty. Singer D4vd linked to ongoing death probe. Secret audio may expose what really happened. Each article spread faster than the last. And even though none of them contained hard evidence, the damage was already done. Public opinion turned darker. Comments flooded social media, everything from sympathy to outright hate. Some users even tagged police accounts demanding D4vd's arrest. Others begged him to speak his truth before it was too late. But through it all, he stayed silent. After weeks of silence, D4vd finally posted a video. No fancy production, no background music, just him sitting alone in a dark room, face half lit by a lamp. He said softly, "I didn't do this. I didn't hurt anyone, but someone out there wants me to believe I did." You could hear the fear in his voice. He looked exhausted, pale, like someone who hadn't slept in days. He continued, "There's more to this. There are people watching, people who don't want the truth out. And if anything happens to me, remember this message." Within hours, that clip was everywhere. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Some people believed him, others called it an act. But what nobody could deny was the pain in his eyes. A week after D4vd's video dropped, a third recording surfaced on the dark web. No one knows who uploaded it. The clip was only 18 seconds long. The same robotic, distorted voice from before. He knows now. Tell him to stop digging, or I'll finish what I started. Police couldn't verify the source, but experts confirmed it wasn't AI generated. This was a real person, hiding behind heavy digital filters. And that's when fans started connecting dots. The timeline, the leaks, the false reports. It was all too coordinated to be random. Someone was watching and responding every time D4vd made a move. Retired FBI profiler Dr. Miriam Caldwell analyzed the situation on a live podcast. "This isn't just cyber harassment," she said. "This has the signature of a psychological operation, designed to isolate, terrify, and control the victim." She explained that the voice messages and fake emergencies were part of a tactic known as digital stalking escalation. It begins with small intrusions, fake calls, hacked accounts, then builds to threats. The end goal is psychological collapse. When she was asked who she thought might be responsible, Caldwell paused before saying, "Someone close, someone with access, someone who wants him to break." The clip went viral, and suddenly people started asking, who around D4vd could do something like this? As speculation grew, 3 names began circulating online. A former tour manager, fired months before the scandal for unprofessional behavior, a jealous ex-collaborator rumored to have leaked D4vd's unreleased demos in the past, a mysterious online figure calling themselves Echo 13, who had been posting cryptic comments under every D4vd-related video long before the swatting. One message from Echo 13, dated months earlier, read, "Silence is safest when the truth is deadly." No one took it seriously at the time. Now, it felt like a prophecy. Just when it felt like things couldn't get weirder, investigators finally got a break. Through advanced digital tracing, they discovered fragments of metadata left behind on the dark web upload of the third call. That data pointed to a public Wi-Fi network in Miami, registered to a hotel where, shockingly, one of D4vd's former associates had stayed the very same week. When confronted, that associate denied everything, but police confirmed his devices were seized for analysis. No arrests yet, but the circle was closing in. D4vd's fanbase didn't sit quietly. They began organizing online, forming a movement called Can Stop the Frame Up. Fans from all over the world gathered digital evidence, archived posts, and tracked accounts tied to Echo 13. In less than a week, they discovered that Echo 13 had been using multiple fake identities, some impersonating journalists, others pretending to be investigators. This wasn't a single troll. This was a network, and that realization changed everything, because if an entire group was behind this, then D4vd wasn't just being targeted, he was being hunted. Meanwhile, sources close to D4v revealed his mental health was deteriorating. He'd reportedly stopped eating, barely sleeping, and was living in near-complete isolation. A close friend said, "He keeps saying there's someone outside. He hears things at night. He's scared to even open his phone." Some began to wonder, had the psychological warfare worked? Was this exactly what the stalkers wanted? Because now, the man who once sang about emotions and vulnerability was living his own nightmare. And a shocking twist, a police report leaked online, allegedly detailing part of the ongoing investigation. It mentioned encrypted messages recovered from an anonymous chat app. In those messages, 2 unknown users discussed Stage 2. User 1, Phase 1 complete. Car planted. Voice ready. User 2. Next target is his headspace. Fans couldn't believe it. Could this mean Celeste's body really was planted? Law enforcement neither confirmed nor denied the authenticity of the report, but multiple insiders verified that something big was indeed uncovered. Whatever this was, it wasn't just harassment, it was premeditated sabotage. Psychologists began calling this one of the most complex modern cases of digital terror. Instead of physical attacks, the perpetrator used technology to dismantle someone's sense of safety and identity. Imagine, every sound, every ping, every message could be fake. Reality itself becomes distorted. That's what D4vd was living through. A world where truth and illusion were blended so perfectly, even he couldn't tell them apart anymore. One therapist said, they wanted him paranoid. And they succeeded. Weeks later, police reportedly found a hidden surveillance camera near D4vd's home, disguised inside a streetlight casing. It had been transmitting data to an encrypted cloud account, which authorities traced back to an offshore server. No one knew who installed it. But the footage showed one horrifying detail. A car parked outside, night after night, same make and model each time. Every time D4vd left the house, the car's headlights flickered twice. Like a signal, that discovery sent shockwaves through his fanbase, and finally pushed law enforcement to label the case as organized digital and physical stalking. The FBI officially stepped in. They began collaborating with cybercrime units and forensic voice analysts. According to leaked updates, they had matched audio spectrograms from all 3 voice messages to a specific device model, a high-end voice modulator sold to only a few private clients. That discovery led them straight to a tech firm in Nevada, where records showed one such device had been purchased, under a fake name, using cryptocurrency. But here's the twist. The same crypto wallet had also been used to pay for online bot traffic promoting anti-D4vd posts on social media. The web of deceit was finally unraveling. In a dramatic turn of events, reports claim D4vd's team received an anonymous email saying, "Stop digging, or we go public with everything." Attached was a blurred image, showing D4vd in what appeared to be a recording studio. Except upon closer inspection, it wasn't real. It was a deepfake. An AI-generated image meant to frame him for something that never happened. That's when D4vd realized he wasn't just the victim of stalking, he was the test subject of a digital smear campaign, a living experiment in destroying a reputation using AI. 3 days later, before going completely offline, D4vd posted one final message. "You can fake my voice. You can fake my image. But you can't fake my truth." Since then, he hasn't been seen publicly. No updates. No appearances, just silence. But sometimes silence says everything. This story isn't just about one artist or one tragedy. It's a warning. In a world ruled by algorithms, deepfakes, and digital manipulation, truth is no longer something you can see. It's something you have to feel. So the next time you see a headline, a photo, or even a viral video, ask yourself, is it real? Or just another illusion? Because in the case of D4vd, reality itself has become the ultimate crime scene. Music fades to silence. Screen fades to black. Weeks passed, but silence only made things worse. Every day, new theories appeared on Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube. Some claimed D4vd had gone into hiding under police protection. Others swore he'd fled overseas to escape whoever was behind the digital attacks. A few people even posted blurry photos claiming they'd seen him in public, walking quickly, head down, always wearing a hoodie. But none of those images could be verified. The internet had turned his absence into entertainment. Every whisper became a headline. Every rumor became proof. And the truth? Buried deeper every day. Then came an unexpected twist. A young fan named Maya claimed she stumbled upon something while combing through archived files from the dark web leak. Inside a hidden folder, she found a 12-second unreleased audio clip. The same robotic voice from the 911 calls. But this time, it said something new. It's not about him. It's about what he knows. That single line reignited everything. What did D4vd know? Was this about something much bigger than just him? Investigators and fans began revisiting his older work. Old demos, interviews, even his unreleased music snippets. In one of his early songs, recorded before fame, he mentions, "They're watching the wires, tracing the fire, truth buried under names they admire." At the time, it seemed poetic. Now, it felt like a confession. Could D4vd have been exposed to something dangerous before he became famous? Something worth silencing him over? A journalist from Insider Now then broke a shocking link. Before becoming a full-time musician, D4vd had briefly interned for a music tech startup that specialized in AI-generated voices and data tagging for entertainment companies. That same company later faced accusations of illegally harvesting vocal samples from unsigned artists to train their software, and guess what? One of their co-founders mysteriously disappeared from social media right after the first 911 call. Now, the question became, was the same AI technology used against D4vd later? Was he being silenced for something he accidentally discovered while working there? An anonymous whistleblower contacted a popular YouTuber, claiming to have files proving the tech company had been experimenting with AI voice cloning tied to celebrity likenesses, including D4vd's. The whistleblower sent one file named Prototype 13 DAO of when analyzed, it contained multiple voice fragments, one of which matched D4vd's real tone perfectly, even though he never recorded it. If this was true, it meant his own digital clone had been created and possibly used in the 911 calls and fake messages. The implications were terrifying. This wasn't just identity theft. This was identity assassination. Just when people thought the mystery had peaked, Echo 13 returned, posting a chilling message on an underground forum. The voice isn't real, but the fear is. That post included a time-stamped countdown, 48 hours, and a final cryptic sentence: "Truth dies when silence wins." The countdown expired 2 days later. No new files appeared. But something did happen. A hidden page was discovered on an old fan website. A page that wasn't there before. It displayed a looping image of static, with distorted text flashing briefly. "We warned him." Whoever Echo 13 was, they were still out there, watching, playing. Months later, an independent documentary crew began piecing everything together. They interviewed experts, fans, and investigators who had followed the case from day one. Their conclusion? That this case marked the first major public example of a celebrity targeted using AI for psychological warfare. One expert summarized it perfectly. If you can fake a person's voice, clone their words, and manipulate evidence, you can rewrite reality itself. The documentary, titled "Erased the D4vd Case," went viral overnight. Over 50 million views in its first week, but not everyone wanted it out there. Within 72 hours, it was mysteriously taken down. The production company received legal threats from an unknown corporate entity, the same one linked to that old tech startup. Coincidence? Or cover-up? One night, several fans monitoring D4vd's old social media noticed something strange. His official Twitter account, dormant for months, suddenly liked one post. It was an image of a black screen with white letters. "The truth lives offline." Within minutes, the like was removed. But people had already screenshotted it. Was it a hacker? Or D4vd himself sending one last coded message? Digital forensic experts began tracing every part of the leaked evidence again. This time, they found something that everyone missed: a GPS metadata tag hidden in the whistleblower's audio file. It led to a small storage unit on the outskirts of Nevada. When investigators arrived, they found a single server tower, still powered. Inside it, thousands of cloned audio files, including celebrities, journalists, and influencers. The main directory was labeled Project Eclipse. Among the data, there was one folder simply titled D4vd Original. Digital forensic experts began tracing every part of the leaked evidence again. This time, they found something that everyone missed: a GPS metadata tag hidden in the whistleblower's audio file. It led to a small storage unit on the outskirts of Nevada. When investigators arrived, they found a single server tower, still powered. Inside it, thousands of cloned audio files, including celebrities, journalists, and influencers. The main directory was labeled Project Eclipse. Among the data, there was one folder simply titled D4vd Original. Inside that folder was a video, time-stamped months before the scandal. It showed D4vd in a meeting room, speaking with 3 unknown individuals about digital ethics, privacy, and how music AI could destroy creative freedom. His exact words: "If people can fake voices, they can fake crimes. One day, they'll ruin someone's life just to prove a point." He said that long before the first 911 call, and that's when it hit everyone. He predicted his own downfall. The official investigation remains open. The tech company quietly rebranded under a new name. And D4vd? Still missing from public life, but his last words online still echo: "You can fake my voice, but not my soul." Maybe that's what this story was really about. Not guilt or innocence, but the fight for truth in a world where lies wear human voices. Because in the age of AI, reality isn't what's real anymore. It's what's believed. Music fades slowly. End screen with text. In memory of truth. Memory of truth.